Meta has released their new large language model Llama 3 in various flavors, and they say that you can get it soon. However, I was able to download it immediately, and you can install it and run it on any of the GPUs. Now, it's important that we don't discount Meta for their efforts and initiatives on AI, because, you know, we hear OpenAI and we hear Google and Microsoft, and they're all sort of like the front runners in terms of the media share. However, from an AI perspective, Meta has released one of the most widely used machine learning and AI training frameworks called PyTorch, which is libtorch, which are a bunch of libraries in C with common math functions and equations that are used to train these models. And they did this many years ago. And so they're using that technology in addition to a lot of these other vendors and providers. So they've been at it for a while. They're doing a lot of technology. They're making advancements here. And they're not holding back on investing into this either. They're really jumping in. With PyTorch and all the technologies being able to leverage and run on all the hardware that we have available to us in the market and all the cloud vendors as well. Right now I saw that the context window size is only 8,000 tokens, and they say larger context windows are on the way. Different model sizes and enhanced performance. They have some plans. They're probably going to be implementing a better way for the layers to transform between each other while on the GPU without having to transit to the CPU and back and forth. They're probably optimizing that. They've also just gone ahead and made it easy for you to use. You don't even have to run the model yourself or run it on a server or have another brand. They let you run it yourself directly. You just go to metaai.com, and now you've got your own AI assistant running Llama 3, probably a more capable model behind the scenes. You can fully use it right now. This very second, I just asked it, hey, can you help me with some CSS Flexbox? And it knew what I was talking about. It even listed out some of the common problems that you have with Flexbox, or at least some of the challenges, some of the layouts that you want to achieve, like horizontal alignment with potential wrapping, and, you know, maybe filling each of the boxes should fill out the space so it looks clean. Let's see if we can get an example. Give me an example of... All right, so we're gonna go with a grid of photos, a user interface that has a grid of photos that can wrap to the next row and like this is a thing that I often had a problem with. I remember back a while ago, we wanted the last row to fill out the space, just to see if that's something that you can do just from let's see if it answers it, figures it out here. Woo, interesting. That was fast. It came back a lot quicker than most of the models that I've seen. Is this a thing? Oh, display grid. Well, it's not Flexbox. So that's actually kind of cool because it gave me a more modern, better solution for what I was trying to achieve, even though I asked for it to give me a Flexbox. All right, that's pretty good. Wait, did it mention that it did that, or did it just do it? See, it's like, I asked about Flexbox, and then it's like, nope, you don't want Flexbox. You want display grid. Very nice. We're taking a look at Meta's Llama 3, their newest model, and we're taking, we're checking it out. It's a light look. We want to see what they have to offer. What's different than Llama 2 when we compare the two? Basically, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. It's just that much better. It's just a little bit better. It performs a little bit better on the benchmarks. It says major leap over Llama 2, though, well, I mean, in ways, so I'd say it's a little bit faster, a little more performant, higher accuracy. So I would say it's a nice improvement. I don't call it a major leap. You can compare it to some of the existing models that they have that are available today, including the Llama model from Google, which they released and open sourced. You've also got the Mistral model, and you can see here that it does outperform in a lot of these situations. So it is, I would say in this case, a leading model if you want to choose an open source model that is in the 8 to 70 billion parameter range. You'll probably want to use the Meta Llama 3 model. It is interesting to look at, I like this bottom row right here, so they are comparing their previous version of Llama 3 versus Llama 2. You can see it does win more often in terms of its outcome. That's actually pretty powerful. What's weird is that it had scenarios where Llama 2 outperformed in some of the test cases. You would think that it would fill out at least all, tie everything, and then, you know, be better. But this is interesting. This is a little weird for sure. I've used Mixtral myself, and it is interesting to note here that with Meta's Llama 3, it's you know, we're looking at some really single-digit numbers in terms of deltas, in terms of the performance differences. However, it is nice to see that this is one step further. It's just a little bit further in its capabilities. If you want to download Llama 3 yourself or any of the previous versions of Llama, you can do that pretty easy. There's a download button right here. One of the things you will have to do, which is the same as all the previous versions, when you click download, you have to fill in all your name and information, including your birthday, which is okay, and then provide which models you're interested in, and then they will present you with this page here, which allows you to download all the different capabilities. It is kind of neat that they have a separate guard model here that will help they know that these large language models, they will basically do whatever they want. And the more we try to train those large language models to adhere to like some societal standards, and also safety considerations, the less they perform. They don't perform as well. It degrades the performance overall because we're hindering the model. So I like this approach. It's kind of neat. They have a dedicated model to provide the safety mechanism while not hindering so much in the other aspects. Now, I'm pretty sure they also have some safety built in, but they probably didn't go overboard with the safety implementation on top of the model itself because it does dramatically hinder the overall performance. So I like that because you can use this Llama guard for the input and the output at the same time. Now here we go. Okay, so we've got our safeguard, and you can use it for the input data. When user inputs the data, it runs through the big model, which probably has less specific tuning for safety considerations, and then you run it through the model on the output for the safeguard again, and then that helps do really good. It's like this governor on either side. This is probably one of the key reasons why Llama 3 is going to be able to outperform the other existing models in the space because of this specific purpose. So yes, pretty easy to download. They give you a big long URL like this. The URLs last for 24 hours and you can download 5 times from each of the URLs. You can also use Hugging Face here directly on huggingface.com or .co. There's no M. The M is missing. They probably have .com, right? It's going to work? No. Oh, they don't like that. They want you to go to .co. Okay. So you do have to spin it up on dedicated hardware, which is fine. You just click the button and then you pay per hour. And you can also have it downscale automatically for you. You can also add your own Amazon account ID and it will launch those EC2 servers directly on your account. You still have to agree to the end user license and provide all of your details that you have agreed to it. Using the transformer and torch libraries in Python, they make it really easy. You specify the model ID and then you use the transformers pipeline to create the interface. And then you simply just start communicating directly with the model. This is also probably going to be interesting to see as a standard carbon footprint on the pre-trained utilization. Cumulative overall was 7.7 million GPU hours of computation time on the hardware. That's kind of crazy. We can see how many tons of carbon has been emitted from each of these models. The Llama 3 8 billion model emitted 390 tons of carbon was emitted in training this model. I mean, that just does sound a lot. It does sound like a lot, though. They say it was 100% offset, which we can do as long as we can recapture those tons of carbon emitted. Then it's perfectly fine.